Good evening, everyone, and thank you for tuning in this evening. You're very welcome to our 19th Open Night here at Dunboyne College of Further Education, where you'll get an idea of all the many and diverse courses that we have here on offer. My name is Dennis Leonard. I'm the principal of the college, and really we've been working over the last 19 years to make sure the demands of this area in terms of progression onto third level and employment are met by the diverse courses that we have here on site. So our Open Night presentation is going to showcase the many exciting offerings that we have in each of our departments and the wonderful progression opportunities that are available when you finish. In Dunboyne College, our motto is begin here, go anywhere. We have over 50 courses accredited by QQI at levels 5 and level 6. Each of them lead on to universities and IT colleges where you can progress to levels 6, 7 and 8. We have direct links to these colleges regardless of your Leave Cert points. All of our courses have work experience, and they also have great links to industry and employment afterwards. And statistically, it's been proved that QQI students, like our own, are more focused, have excellent retention at third level, and perform extremely well academically. Further education is a wonderful opportunity, and particular PLC courses are a great option at this point in time here in Ireland to learn new skills while in a college environment. Dunboyne College of Further Education courses are unique as they bridge the gap to educational journey that might be part of your future. There are many pathways to get where you want to go, and it doesn't matter how you get there if it's really where you want to be. Further education provides that clarity and indeed that opportunity. At the end of the year, here with us, our students continually state, it's been the best choice that I ever made. We have huge progression opportunities at third level. Dunboyne College sends more students to universities and institutes of technology than most secondary schools in this country. The flexible options in Dunboyne allow students to sample various modules in September to make sure they are pursuing the career of their choice. And dropout rates for students who do QQI courses are very low, less than 3% for those who come here first and then progress on to third level, compared to 10% and over in some of the universities and up to 33% in some of the IT colleges. In fact, those dropout rates are higher in third level this year due to COVID and the online learning. As students here learn referencing, research, self-directed learning, they tend to stay the full third level course afterwards, unlike many who might go straight from Leave Cert and sometimes are not quite sure about their options. Progression from here is huge. 85% of those who get a full award in 2020 ended up progressing to college. That's 374 students who received an offer at level 8 to go on to third level and 248 at level 7. They went to Maynooth University, where over 130 students went, to DCU, to UCD, to Trinity College, to the Technical University for Dublin, where over 200 of our students had offers, Dundalk, Athlone, Waterford and Tralee Institutes of Technology, as well as Carlow and NCI DBS. And what do they do there? They do subjects like arts, social science, nursing, law, music performance, dental nursing, business, sound, computers, media production, a whole range of different subject areas for our students who progress. And many went into vocational areas in hairdressing, beauty and other areas where they went directly into employment. You learn skills for life here. The study skills you learn in Dunboyne and how you use those skills equip you for third or further level education or indeed into life. Skills include knowing how to reference, how to do a bibliography, knowing how to put together an assignment and present your work in the required format is always very useful. In Dunboyne College, students are shown how to navigate and how to submit on Moodle, which is a platform used by many third-level colleges. You learn how to research and apply theory and practice in your assignments. You take responsibility for your own work, for time management and for your learning. A PLC course, like those here in Dunboyne, are the bridge that takes a lot of the potential stress out of being a first-year student in a new environment at third level. Dunboyne College provides a good learning environment and family atmosphere, student support from experienced tutors, teaching in their field of expertise, high-quality teaching both on and off-site. We're a college with a great track record since 2003. And we have an outstanding reputation among third-level institutions and employers. In terms of college life here, we run many extracurricular, from sports to theme weeks to fundraisers. We have a very active student council. We have an Erasmus programme in disciplines like nursing, business, tourism, media, which lets students go to Exeter, Barcelona or Tenerife to our partner colleges. We run a scholarship programme where students actually have the opportunity to receive sponsorship from local businesses and have their fees paid for the year. Our newsletter is on our website, which gives you a flavour of all these areas of college life. So in terms of interview and registration, you can apply now online at dunboynecollege.ie. There's no enrolment fee, and all you will end up paying is a €30 administration fee if you apply and register and then decide not to come. Interviews will be held remotely this year, so if you upload your personal statement and your photo, you will get an answer within 2 weeks. Payment of your full fee guarantees a student a place on the course, and all students can claim a refund if they decide not to come or get a third level place, a refund right up to early October. Demand for places is usually high. 2,500 students applied last year for our 1,000 places, so we always recommend that you apply early. Finally, after 2 years of uncertainty among our Leave Cert students of 2020 and 21 in terms of going to college, maybe it's time to take time out to focus on the area you want to develop your career in, regardless of whether you have the points or not, or if you're a mature student who wants to go back into learning or change a career. Why not spend a year exploring in depth and be college ready when you do progress? Come May of next year, you'll be in a great place to enjoy the next step of your educational journey with a diverse set of skills in your arsenal. If you miss anything in tonight's presentation, it will continue to be available on www.opendcfe.ie, or you can check our website or simply give us a call. We look forward to hearing from you, and don't forget you can always check us out on Facebook, Twitter or Instagram as well. As we have said for the past 18 years here, begin here, go anywhere. Hope you find what you've been looking for here this evening, and again, thank you so much for tuning in.
Good evening and welcome to the Computers and Design Department. My name's Will Carty, and with me this evening is Liam, Richard and Claire. First of all, I'm going to talk you through a presentation of the courses that we run in this department. Once that's finished, we'll take questions through the YouTube chat. So if you have any questions, just type them into the chat and we'll discuss them and give you some answers towards the end. So first of all, the first course is a new course. It's software development and games design. So far, it seems to be very popular. So obviously, this is an area of real growth at the moment. And anyone who works in IT has been very busy in the last year. So you can see that in the future as well, there's huge growth in this area. This course is essentially more about programming, so developing websites, developing games, things like that. So it's away from the hardware side of computers. So a lot of people who want a career in software development will choose this course. So a few of the modules that will be studied on this course are the fundamentals of object-oriented programming, software architecture, programming and design principles, databases, maths for IT, web authoring, communications and work experience, which are on all the courses that I'll talk about tonight, games analysis and design, and there may also be health and safety and word processing. So you can see from those modules, there's a lot of focus on programming and web development. So the next course I'm going to look at is Creative Digital Media. So this is a course that kind of gives us a mix of various different media. As in all the courses I'm talking about tonight, it's a one-year course. The software that's used on this course is Adobe. We use the Adobe suite. So you get a variation, a mixture of the types of things we do in this course. So just looking at that, there's a little bit of video editing going on there. You can see in the bottom right corner of the screen, we do a lot of photo editing. And we also do some radio and sound production. Looking at the modules there, you've got animation, which we have a full course of itself, radio and sound production, multimedia authoring, project development, design skills. This is kind of a mixture of a lot of the courses that we do here in Dunboyne. So if you want to get into digital media in some format and you're not sure which area to specialise in, this is a good course for you. Another course we have here, which is more along the lines of a kind of business course. So it's online marketing or e-business. So again, another area which has huge growth. Again, it's a one-year course. Advertising, social media advertising is really, really important at the moment. And a lot of small businesses as well as large businesses are looking for people with these skills. So some of the modules that we have on this are digital marketing, marketing practice, e-business, behavioural studies, applied economics, the internet, which is kind of a basic look at some of the internet standards out there. Web authoring is also an option on this course. So you get a good grounding in marketing and a little bit of technology to go with it. So to the other computer course, we have computer systems and networks. Again, a one-year course and an area where there are a lot of jobs at the moment. So this course is all about, we have kind of a hardware area, so fixing computers. We also have networking, so setting up networks, home networks, business networks, using servers, routers, that type of equipment. A very practical element, but also a heavy theory side as well. And if we just look at a few of the modules on this as well, you'll notice as well as some of the things I was talking about there, we also have web authoring, ICT security policies and management, which again is another area. Security is a big area at the moment in IT. Mobile technologies, and there is a programming module as well. So you get a bit of programming in this course as well. So we look at graphic design, another course that goes on in the college. And again, this is if you're quite creative and you want to use technology in that creativity, this is a good course for you. It's a one-year course. Again, we use the Adobe suite, things like Illustrator, Photoshop. There's digital photography module as well. So if you're interested in photography, this is probably the course for you. And I mentioned some of the modules there. Some of the other modules are computer illustrated graphics, word processing, and there's a marketing module as well. So another course we have in the college is architecture. So that's a course that started this year. And obviously there's a lot of interest in this course. Again, it's a one-year course. Learners get a good background in using CAD, which is computer-aided design. It's a software piece that's used a lot in architecture. Just examples of some of the coursework from the students, drawings and sketches. So it's good to have a hobby or a background in drawing, or have done technical graphics or subjects like that before choosing to do architecture. Some of the modules there we have are architectural drawing, computer-aided drafting, combined materials, drawing, as well as the basics, maths, communications, work experience. Again, just some CAD drawings there. from some of our current students. Another exciting course we have in the college is media and film production. Most of the cameras in use today are part of that course. A lot of professional or industry standard equipment is used in the college, so students will gain a lot of experience in using those. So it provides users with a good background in film and media, whether they're looking to progress to a third level or looking for employment. So other modules, they'll study digital editing, so using computers to edit video together, film production, recording, and making your own short films. Again, there's radio program in there, a bit of writing skills with journalism as well. So there's a good mixture, as well as a little bit of animation. And music performance, another course we run in the college, a popular course. So it's developed to a course designed to provide students with practical hands-on experience in live music performance. Students can gain excellent knowledge of the workings of the music industry through live music event planning and performance. So the music course, every year they put on gigs. Obviously this year is slightly different, but hopefully when we get out of COVID, students will be able to put on courses again. Visit the musicdcfe.ie website. You'll get loads of information there. You can also find out more from the Instagram and YouTube as well. Just briefly, the course content, so music performance, music theory and practice, industry studies as mentioned, music technology, and sound engineering where you're maybe using more technology. Again, radio production is offered on this course as well. And there's plenty of progression opportunities with these courses to the colleges listed there. And again, for entry requirements are outlined there. So this year you will be submitting a recording of your performance and submitting it to sclark.dbc@lmetb.ie. Again, visit musicdcfe.ie for further information. Sound production, another course that runs closely with the music performance course. It's a one-year intense portfolio course. It builds skills to freelance in sound engineering or progress to higher education if that's what you're looking for. So some of the key modules of sound engineering and production. You produce live concerts, record music and release it on Spotify, build practical skills, use industry standard equipment, link with music course, and you also link with the film course. So you link with a couple of different courses throughout your year in the college. Music technology is another key course. Again, you'll learn to edit, mix, master, release music, and use digital audio workstations. So a few other modules there. You can see radio production, music industry standards, music performance, and the usual, this time of year, of teamwork as well as an option. So there are progression opportunities both to colleges and into the workplace, and you can see them there listed above. So Art Portfolio is another course that we have in the college, another quite creative course. So not as much technology in this course as in some of the previous courses. So some of the modules that will be discussed or that will be covered in this course are drawing, printmaking, image processing, digital photography, painting, sculpture, design skills, combined materials and embroidery. So depending on what area of art you specialise, there are some options there for you. Just some samples of student work. So students will generally develop a portfolio of work. So another course we run here in the college is animation. So again, if you're quite creative and you want to learn a little bit more about 2D animation, then this is a course for you. Learners will gain skills around character design, animation and creative development through specialist software. So yeah, that was an animation there. So course content, we have animation layout design, animation design skills, animation drawing studies, animation, painting, drawing, sculpture, design photography and image processing. Again, in this course, an Adobe product is used in some of the 2D design, Adobe Animate. And that brings us to the end of our slideshow. So if we have any questions there, Claire?
Yeah, so a couple of questions coming in. The first question is from Daniel, and it relates to the media and film production course. Daniel's question is, does media and film production also involve the artistic aspect of filmmaking? So I can answer this one. So on the film and media course, we have a module called film production. As part of that module, students, they develop a concept or an idea for and develop and direct and act in a short film. So they would work in groups to complete this element of the course. It also crosses over into other aspects of the coursework, such as sound production and the editing module. So the course sort of ties together around the production of a short film, and that runs throughout the course of the year. Yeah, you are learning lots about the filmmaking process. You're learning how to, come up with your own ideas, plan, script write, work as a team. And, all of those skills then can really kind of contribute towards your, learning experience, and also, options to progress and into the future, kind of, helping you to kind of identify what it is you want to pursue going forward. I hope that answers your question. It's a really enjoyable part of the course as well, and I think it's an element of the course that is really beneficial for all the students involved in it. Ella has a question here in relation to the architecture course. Does the architecture course provide a section on construction detailing, or is it purely based on CAD techniques? So you'll have seen, Ella, as part of the architecture course, we also have, along with the CAD module, we also have a drawing module. We have design skills as part of it. We have combined materials and also architectural drawing. So your question seems to relate to the architectural drawing element of the course. Yes, we would study things like construction detailing, rendering, using traditional drawing methods. You would also be learning about things like building standards and methods and and materials as well. So that would be an important part of the course, and it would allow you then to develop that as part of your portfolio for progression. Now, have many students progressed to architecture? So actually, Ella, this is a new course. The architecture course is a brand new course, and this year we have our first contingent of students progressing on to degree level. We have students kind of applying for architecture, for design, for interior design, for architectural technology. There are a wide range of degree programs that are opened up to students of this course, and also other areas of design. So it would allow students to kind of progress into other courses of study along with architecture. So there's a full kind of list of progression links available through the website and in our college brochure. And if you have specific questions in relation to to a specific course, you can contact the college and they'll be able to direct you to the course leader. Now, Anita Quinn, what would happen if you didn't meet the academic requirements? Anita, what I would say to that is to apply. And, you know, obviously you'll have seen that we look for things like, you know, what you're currently doing. We would look for things like a written reference. If you're a student applying directly from Leaving Cert, you won't necessarily have sat your exams yet. We would assess, you know, students, you know, on their own merit. So, you know, we just encourage everyone to apply. And
that's something that's coming quite a lot actually. In the last session, so many schools haven't sat mocks yet. So how do we actually assess? So that's really where the personal statement comes in. Very important. That would be the main thing to focus on there. So spend some time on that personal statement, and that will be the main part of the application process for you.
Great. Daniel has another question. Is there any specific requirements for the film and media course that you'd need to get, like a personal laptop? Oh, yeah. Do you want to take this one, Rob?
The course is pretty heavy going on computers. There's no prerequisite for you to have a high-spec machine yourself, because the college does offer machines for the course. So we've dedicated computer labs for with all the software that you need, as well as the cameras that we're using today. I'm the cameraman today, so that's why you can't see me chatting away. But we do have it all on site. If you are in need of a computer, for whatever reason it may be, we also have some facilities built into the college to apply for and get a student loan as well, or a laptop loan if required. So you won't be left wanting for anything. If you don't have the computer powerful enough, we'll be able to do what we can to help you with that. But that's certainly not something you should worry about before you or when you're applying to these types of courses.
So I have a question for you, Liam, from Ralph. For the software engineering or games design course, how much does the games design aspect take up in this course?
Well, it's one module, so I mean, it will share its load with the rest of the course, but it does, you know, it requires your initiative and your want and desire to build your game, of course. But other than that, the workload isn't overbearing by any means at all. It's quite doable by everybody. Everybody who does the games module has a great time doing it, and you know what they produce at the end of the year is always fascinating for me to see. So if you're concerned whether it's going to be something that's going to, you know, overshadow everything else, no, it's not, of course. And you have the support of all your tutors throughout the whole modules or throughout the whole course. So definitely there's enough time for everything to happen on the course, and they're designed that way, so you'll get a good grounding in everything. You'll also find that a lot of what you learn within the other modules kind of fits in your design skills, your programming skills, and whatever module you take or whichever course you come in on, you'll find that your modules kind of intertwine and your learning is, you know, integrated enough so that you have all the bases covered to achieve what you need to achieve. Hopefully that gets your answer.
Lovely, thanks very much, Liam. Now, Anita, sorry, I'm just watching your question come through there. Is there anything you'd recommend learning for the sound production course? This is one for you, Rob, before September, or recommended books or resources? So that's a question from Anita.
So in terms of preparation before coming onto the course, it's a portfolio course focusing on studio recording for music and also radio production as well as working with the film course for live productions and live sound, all that type of stuff. So I wouldn't recommend a textbook or anything like that, because there's a fair few of them and you can certainly spend a lot of money on those. But in the meantime, Sound on Sound magazine is an excellent resource that has, I think once a magazine goes beyond 6 months, it's available free on their website. And Sound on Sound is split up into different technique sections, so you can learn quite a bit there. So there's lots of basic tutorials that you can find there, and that's exactly what we'll be starting off with in September. So the main purpose of the sound production course, working with music performance, animation also, as well as film production, is to do lots of to build a practical portfolio of work. So even if you go into September having done no theoretical prep, you'll get it hands-on in the studio or in live sound or wherever it may be. So it's a really good question though, what you can do before September, and I think it's something we should for all the courses, and especially in our department here, because they're fairly technical, but software or techniques or whatever it may be, it can be quite useful for a lot of other courses.
Okay, so that's it for the moment. We have some frequently asked questions as well that if you'd like to run through a few. So, you know, we have just questions that we were asked earlier in the evening that might kind of help you to learn a little more about the various courses that we offer. Can you apply for more than one course? Yes, you absolutely can. So there's the facility as part of our application form to apply for a number of courses. Once you, you'll be offered the course you put down, as your first choice. And if it's a thing you change your mind, you can always contact the college in relation to that. The duration of courses and time of classes, Will?
Yeah, no, just on that, applying for course, you can apply for 3 courses. So your first preference is obviously the one you're interviewed for, but perhaps if you don't get that or you're put on a waiting list or something, then we would come back to you and ask you if you wanted your second preference course. So it's always good to put a little bit of time into it. So make sure your first preference is what you want, and then the other 2 courses, make sure that you would like them if you couldn't do the first option.
Perfect. The duration of time, or the duration of course and times of classes?
So all the courses in this department are 1 year. So the course starts in September, they end in May. You'll study roughly 10, 11 modules. So each module, you'll have a 2-hour class per week for that module. So you'll be in the college probably 3-4 days a week. So that's kind of the duration or time that you'll be in with us.
I have a question here from Barry Dempsey. For the software development and gaming course, will the students be taught on Unity?
No, Unreal Engine.
Perfect. That answers that.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Another question for you, Will. Do I have to do all of the modules on a course?
We recommend that you start doing all of the modules. So to get a full award, so if you want to progress or get your certification to have a full award, you must do at least 8 modules, 8 core modules. So most courses will have maybe 2 or 3 extra, and we recommend you start doing those modules. And if you find it a little bit difficult towards the end of the year, you may be in a position to drop one of those modules.
Perfect. What are the entry requirements for these courses? Or for the courses we offer, are there any specifics?
So we want our students to have completed the Leaving Cert or the LCA, or if they're a mature learner, or they've done a level 4, then they're more than welcome to apply, and everyone should apply. And our entry requirements can accommodate all types of learners, so everyone should apply, and we'll assess everyone equally.
And one more that will sort of be applicable across across all courses. Do I have to complete work experience, and do I have to find this? Yes,
so in general, we ask that the students try and find work experience. It's not always the easiest thing to do. So the college has a database. We have partnerships built up with people. So we will help students with that. So we'll try and get them set up with some companies we have worked with in the past. But it's always a good idea yourself. If you decide that you're going coming here, you apply, you get offered your place, have a look around and see if you can get work experience. And when you come to the college, we'll help you with that to find the adequate work experience that you need to complete the course.
And depending on which course it is, there's huge practical elements to it. So for example, film, music and sound. So those are sometimes areas difficult to get work placements in, especially locally, or because they're generally ones you have to travel for. So we do, as Will was saying, we do our best to try and provide work experience or work practice within the college, where if, let's say, you're having issues or trouble sourcing a placement for your module.
Exactly.
Great. Another few questions coming in here. Anita is asking what software is used for music production and what gear is recommended.
So software for recording and mixing, we use Reaper, and the reason being it's fully professional software, but they actually offer a 100% discount for students, and you don't have to apply for it, which is quite nice. But it's top level that you'd use in any studio, and a lot of main studios are moving over to it nowadays. So that's very easy to download. So you can take a look at that and kind of get used to messing around with that software. Other equipment, or what was other bits of that question there?
What gear is recommended? Any recommended equipment?
So it kind of depends on your background. So one of the first assignments in the course is one designed to try and help you figure out what you actually want from the course. And every assignment is different for each student. So some are come into the course as singer-songwriters, so they want to produce their own music to a high standard and kind of self-publish. So if you're coming into the course wondering, should I buy any hardware, buy any microphones, whatever it may be, I do actually recommend, unless you're really sure of what you want, hold off, because it's one of the first things we cover actually in the course is to identify what you're interested in and then focus on getting that as well. And in addition to that, we provide so much equipment across all the various aspects, from music production to sound for moving image to media production like radio and stuff like that. You'll get a lot of experience using gear that is from various different price points as well, actually. So unless you're very sure, hold off, because when you come over to the college or when you start the course, you'll be getting experience, and then let's say after halfway through the year, you'll have a much better idea actually what you want to pick up. For example, your ideas may just may completely change as well. So it's a bit of a slightly on the fence answer there, but there's a bit of logic behind it there.
Great. I think we should explain as well that Rob is speaking from behind the camera at the moment.
Oh, yes.
So instead of a voice from the okay, Daniel, you have another question here. Outside of college hours, can we work on projects like film editing from home? So this will be kind of applicable for lots of different sort of course areas. Yeah, absolutely. That's something that we require students to do. In terms of the practicalities of it, I suppose you will need access to a laptop that will be possible to use for the likes of film editing. As Will mentioned earlier, we use a lot of the Adobe Creative Suite, so we tend to use Premiere Pro for the editing aspects of that course. Daniel, just in case you're interested.
And the college does provide free access
absolutely.
to that suite as well, which is...
almost forgot to mention that. That's a big bonus as well. So for every student attending the college, they would get a student license for the duration of a year, which means that you don't have to worry then about dealing with that. That's provided at the beginning of the year. Okay, another few questions here. Do you use AutoCAD for architecture, and do you use 3D Studio for 3D rendering? Richard, do you want to take this one?
Yeah, we do. Yeah, so for one of the modules in architecture, sorry, you can hear me now. So we do use AutoCAD for the module I teach in architecture, which is computer-aided drafting. So again, you'll be given that license to use for the duration of the year. You won't have to kind of seek it or find it yourself. So was that the question?
Ella is asking, do you use 3D Studio for 3D rendering?
No, we don't. Well, I don't in my module. I don't think we use it in the course at all. No.
Okay. Anita again. So Reaper is the only. I'm not sure what the next
DAW
word is. Yeah, DAW the college uses.
It's the one we provide because it's the free access to students, but we don't mind what software you use. So if you're coming into the course using Pro Tools or Reason or Ableton, it really doesn't matter. So a lot of colleges will actually force you to use certain software, and literally in some cases if you submit it in the wrong software you won't get marked. We don't actually care about that because it's the end product we're looking for. So if you're coming into the course with experience of software, that's great. The rest of the students will also benefit from that because, as I'm hinting or as I'm guessing from these questions, you probably have a bit of experience as well. Everybody in the course will benefit from hearing of your experience of some software over the other. The key thing about this course, and I think is the same for everybody because there's a few software things coming in, we teach the technique, not the software. So if you apply yourself to the course and you're getting good practice and keeping your head down into the books and whatnot, you learn all the techniques that you can then roll out to any piece of software. Because for example, the sound guys at sound engineering students would use 3 or 4 separate pieces of software depending on what sector they're practicing in. So if they're doing radio, they're using Adobe software. If they're doing music recording, they're using Reaper. If they're doing music production, as in creating their own music, they're using Reason, Ableton, FL Studios, whatever it may be. So yeah, whatever you use is perfectly fine for us.
Perfect. I think that's it for the moment. If you have any questions you'd like to pop into the chat, I think we're coming to the end.
Yeah, and actually just directly after this session, you'll notice in the description of the video there's a link. Meabh and Derek, our guidance counsellors, are going to start a session at 7:45, which we dedicated to all your more specific questions surrounding progression, funding as well, applying to the college, all these other more specific questions. So that session generally goes on for about half an hour. So and if there's nothing else coming in at the moment, what we'll do is just ask you to head down to the description of this video, click that YouTube link, and in about 5 minutes they'll be getting started with those, and you can post your questions into the chat there as well.
Actually, one or two last questions here. This is from Alan. Can I use D's as a programmer? Is that, yeah?
D's?
Not quite sure. Alan, do you want to clarify that question? And Daniel, one more question. What filmmaking or editing style? Yeah, so I think I've answered that already. It's Premiere Pro that we would use for editing on the film and media course. Alan, if you want to come back just in relation to your question.
I'll possibly answer him in the same way that Rob answered earlier on. I'm not entirely sure what he's asking in the question, but the reality is that it's the techniques and you know, if you have a preference to use one software over another, then that's okay, that's perfectly fine. The same for the person who asked about the game engine too, the Unity game engine. It's, you know, it's the techniques and the skill set that you learn, the understanding of the concepts behind what you're doing. So we will give you and facilitate you to have development environment and integrated development environment and language abilities across a wide variety of programming languages, etc. So for example, the mobile technologies module will incorporate a lot of different languages, front-facing languages, client-side languages, and server-side languages in order to get the full interaction for you as the end user as to what you need to achieve. So, you know, whatever we can facilitate you to use, then by all means you can use it as long as the end result is the end result.
And one thing that strikes me based off that answer is if you have no idea what that is, that doesn't matter, because these are foundation, at one level they're foundation introductory courses to get you up to speed. If it's like a hobby, if you know you're interested in games design or animation or whatever it may be, but you don't know how to do it, that's perfectly fine as well. So that kind of ties in with the other answer from a question saying what should we get before we start, is don't put yourself under that kind of pressure. I think is the main thing there.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think the only last thing I would say is if you have a question, you know, following up from tonight and you're, you know, you didn't get the chance to ask it, send the college an email and they'll be able to direct you to the course coordinator, you know, for the specific area you're interested in, you know, if you want to find out more information as well.